Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Pondcast. I'm your host, Justin Skaggs, and this is being presented to you by Webs Online. And with our vast resources, we can tap into geniuses like Carolyn Weise and have them explain to you the mechanics and the biomechanics of your pond. Today, we're just going to be talking generally about winter maintenance. I wanted to get her broad strokes on the matter, and I think she's going to start talking about how your pond is actually a bigger habitat. It may not be a natural pond, but it is a lot of other wildlife sources for fresh water. So let's jump right into it with Carolyn Weise. All right, the winter is still looming, and we have Carolyn Weise back to educate all of us, and we wanted just to talk again about basic winter pond care. If you guys didn't check out our last episode, we talked about actual temperatures, and we got a pretty deep dive, not to make a pun. Hey, why not? I'm going to make a pun. I'm going to do it. But yeah, it's a good one. And we thoroughly covered that. So I want to do kind of the same thing and just hand the mic back over to you and just... what would you like to talk about from your expertise from that angle on winter pond care?
Well, Microblift has a product called Autumn Winter Prep, and for larger pond, it's the winterizing kit. And this is to treat your pond with bacteria that is able to withstand temperatures down to 40 degrees. Now that's the maximum that you're going to get anything out of bacteria. This is not, we don't import it from the Arctic, I'll just say that.
Gotcha, all right.
But it is, this is a 4-month treatment, which usually will take people through their winters. The biggest target is leaves. Leaves can become toxic in a pond. I've heard people who call me and they say, well, I think I should leave leaves in the bottom for frogs. No, you shouldn't do that.
All right.
No, leaves, as they begin to, if you do that, as they begin to break down they're slow to degrade, but as they do, they give off gases, and the gases are not good. One of the end results is methane, and that is a definite fish killer. So
so we're not worried about the frogs. We're worried about the methane. We got to keep that out for the fish.
Oh, that'll kill frogs as well.
See, the frog's got no win here. That's what I'm picking up.
The idea here is that this is not a natural pond. This is not an earth pond.
Right.
So it doesn't break down in the normal way that an earth pond would have an interaction with the bottom, with the substrate. So you've got a rubber bottom on this pond, or a concrete bottom on the pond, and it doesn't allow for that interaction with the earth. So you have to protect it. Now, if you use this, it has cellulase enzymes. And the cellulase enzymes will help to break down those leaves or leaf particles that you didn't net out. Please net those leaves out of the pond. Put up a net over your pond to help prevent any extra leaves going in there. This is the best thing you can do. Do your big water change before the winter sets in, and use the Microblift Autumn Winter Prep if you love your fish.
There you go. There's a tagline. All right. So the number one thing that I get from all different types of experts is preemptive organic material removal.
Yes.
And I just wanted to take a moment, kind of pivot back and live in that for a second and just really emphasize. I mean, you're an expert in what you do. We talk to experts on this podcast all the time. Whether they're pond installers, they say the same thing. If it's a person who is an engineer and works on pumps, they say the same thing. So the number one thing you can do, to hedge anything with